The War Memorial Center is an experiential place unlike any other in the entire country, right here along the shores of Lake Michigan. It's a place where heroes are honored, history is taught, warriors are healed, events are celebrated, and memories are made. Join us for this very special episode of Discover Wisconsin.
My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
In the depths of World War II, the bloodiest years, the community here in Wisconsin determined that they wanted to build a memorial, a reminder of the sacrifice for freedom. So on October 14th, 1944, women leadership organizations incorporated a war memorial. It evolves eventually to what we have today. Everything has symbolism of the sacrifice and the Battle of Normandy. This is an extremely unique memorial in how it was designed and concepted to be a living, breathing memorial where you have the veterans organizations operating here, serving their fellow brothers and sisters, living and breathing in this memorial.
The War Memorial is a really iconic, unique building in Milwaukee. Erro Saarinen was an early modern architect, one of the most important architects in our history, a veteran of World War II, actually part of the OSS. He had a keen interest in designing this specifically for veterans.
He starts to interview a number of veterans, eventually lands on a concept of building a structure symbolic of Omaha Beach.
It's designed like what's called a German pillbox. So it's an elevated platform that gave the German infantry an advantage during the Normandy invasion. And the pivotal moment of the U.S. invasion of Normandy would have been the thing that those veterans would have seen.
So we're standing on top of the Kaler addition to the Art Museum, built in 1977. It was actually 200 yards from the lake to the War Memorial, which is the distance that the troops on D-Day had to charge the beach to actually get to the cliff.
The building is a suspended cruciform shape with a courtyard in the center of it that was really built as a gathering space for veterans.
Just the orientation of the building and the cross pointing east and west has that symbolism of faith, birth, and of death.
And at the very heart of that cruciform is the eternal flame reflecting pond. Very symbolic that that's placed right at the center of this cruciform.
The original structure is referred to as a pedestal. So when you look at it, you can see that third and fourth floor elevated, the veterans being held up on a pedestal.
So you can see here that really impressive cantilever out 30 feet, all supported by these trapezoidal columns. And you see that these taper towards the top and at the bottom. Really unique columns for its time.
Cantilevered forms is when you have an extension that just sort of hangs unsupported. In this case, it's got a cantilever on all four sides, something that had really never been executed on that level before.
The concrete that was used for the superstructure of the War Memorial was lightweight concrete. The weight of a cantilevered structure like this with concrete is going to be from the concrete itself. So they wanted to be able to lighten that load as much as possible. The east wing and the west wing of the War Memorial tie together with reinforcing bars through the structure to be able to put that cantilever within equilibrium.
He was the first to really do it in such a dramatic style and to create a building that at its time probably must have felt unsafe to be in. It gives you a sense of awe, a sense of wonder that this thing could even be built.
We're standing on the birdcage stair, one of the defining features of the building. Vertical steel mullions that encapsulate these really thin vertical pieces of glass. The whole thing is really designed to actually look like a prison, look like a birdcage, a reference to the prisoners of war and those missing in action.
He wanted to make sure they were also remembering that sacrifice of our prisoners of war and missing in action. So the mission statement of the War Memorial Center is honor the dead, serve the living. Just having that originally concept and built into the structure ties it all together.
I'm Julian R. Plaster, a World War II veteran. I was walking down Wisconsin Avenue after Pearl Harbor. They had a recruiting station there. Must have been a magnet or something because it drew me right in. I wanted to join the Marines, but my eyesight was bad, so the Navy took me. I hit boot camp. They picked out so many guys. Well, you go here, you go there. I was told to go as a cook. It's all volunteer. You. My first invasion on Roy and Namur Islands, I had a lot of things going through my mind. We often thought, are you ready to shoot somebody else? And I was never instructed on how to care for a rifle or even how to shoot it. When I was on the landing craft, they gave me this rifle. He said, where's your ammunition? I said, they didn't give me any. He said, well, have you handled a gun before? No. He said, okay, you can use it as a club then. And halfway, they hit a coral reef, so the front went down the landing craft, and we were water up to our neck with our sea bag. As soon as I hit the beach, and they told us to get out, 4 or 5 of us were all given a shovel and told to bury the dead. That was a priority because the South Pacific being so hot and humid. After about 2 or 3 days, the body laying out there in the sun, when you pick them up, they're falling apart. That was the worst job I had when I was in the Navy. That kind of struck me, the first Japanese I picked up and buried. And we often thought about what were they thinking about. In his hand was a picture of an old woman, must have been his mother. And so his thoughts were the same as ours. They were thinking of home. It's a very emotional thing. You're picking up somebody. If it happened to be somebody that you knew before you landed, it hit you. But you just kept on going. Things were moving so fast. The only time you had to think was at the end of the day. Mostly what's going through our mind was, are we going to be alive when we get through with this? They don't train you before you land in there or explain to you what's going to happen. You just go in there, it's cold turkey. It was very crude. They had a great big hole, and you just throw the bodies in there. It's a new experience, and it always stays with you. It's not a happy memory. Everyone reacts different. A lot of noise going on, you really don't have time to think about anything else. Whistling sound going around, the shells going past you, and the bombs when they exploded, that was deafening. You don't have time to think. You're trying to save yourself. You're trying to stay alive. After February 12th, when the Japanese come back, and they bombed us, and they hit our ammunition dump. In my tent, there was 6 of us. We headed for the beach, but they told you don't go in the water because the explosion of a bomb is worse in the water than it is in the air. 6 of us in our little hole that we dug. No place to hide, no buildings, no trees. You dig in the coral. And the next day there was only 3 of us. There's a lot of things I think the brain shuts off. A lot of memories you don't want to think about. There's nothing nice about seeing a dead body or picking one up that stays with you. I think what scared me most is how I was going to live.
We have what we have because of what that generation did. That's the young man and woman who said, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, and went and deployed. That's who we're honoring here. To be able to have somebody years later stand 200 yards away from that building and be able to realize how far that was under the conditions to take Normandy Beach. And then realizing many of our state residents who were serving in theater died that day. But it's not just about World War II, it's about all of our wars. Learning about what that prior generation did at that exact same age that they are now, and you have to ask yourself, what would you do to replicate what they've done for us? All while remembering this is still hallowed ground. This is still remembering someone who never came home.
You know, we were always a very proud military family. Grandpa Gomez, born in 1921. He was in the U.S. Navy, World War II, ended up deploying to the Pacific. He never wanted to go into the Navy. It was obviously a very tumultuous time in the world. Wars breaking out everywhere, but was always very proud of his service after the fact. My dad, Carlos Gomez, he joined the Navy in 1968, active duty for 4 years, and then he got out in 1972, took a break in service for a while, and then eventually joined the Army, and he was in Army Reserves with the 12 Special Forces Group, so he ended up doing 20 years total. And then I joined as well, so it wasn't really ever pushed, something I kind of wanted to do because of my dad. I served in the Wisconsin Army National Guard, a staff sergeant. My job was a launcher chief in the HIMARS. July 5th, 2011, went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, started basic training there, advanced individual training, came back. They were like, hey, if you don't think you're gonna deploy, like each one of you, you're gonna deploy. And sure enough, I got a call. I was working in downtown Milwaukee at JP Morgan. I was scared, excited. It's like being in a sport. You're training, and then the deployment comes and you're like, cool, I finally get to do what I've been training to do. You're proud that you get to go and try to be the best at it. So my wife became pregnant right before the deployment, kind of stressful, but fortunately made it back in time for him when he was born. You just never know, like, what could happen. There's death. There's no other way around it. Knowing that that's something that could happen to you, what you have to do, your job, and be totally locked in, no distractions. I mean, at the end of the day, you just want to come home. So that one ended, and I was like, okay, I made it through, and lo and behold, 2017, getting our phone call, all the same stuff. I didn't really know how I was gonna tell her. My wife comes home, and I was like, hey, sit down, and I gotta go do this job. It's just doing something that's bigger than you. I put everything in a box, and you have to put it in a box. Control what you can control. You have a job to do. You're responsible for people. You just have to take everything that you're feeling about your family and just put it in that box for a while. And nobody really ever talks about their box. After it's done and you come back, that's when some like maybe that reflection comes in on that. But there is a sense of pride. It's just great to see how the community is getting involved, to recognize what the War Memorial is. It's important for the generations coming up to understand the sacrifices that have been made. It's weird coming back. It's stressful. You're feeling a lot of things. You're feeling relief. You're excited to see your family. But at the same time, like, you don't want to see people. Like, even now, it's like you don't even want to open up. You don't want the questions. It kind of goes back to that box. You just kind of want to put it. And then you have to figure out how to reintegrate yourself into normal. And what is normal? If you're married and you have kids, they're used to doing things a certain way now. Where do you fit in? Work. So you're not going to pick right back up. It takes time. And you also feel like the air never smelled so good. You know, the beer was never so cold. Everything is a little bit better. And this stuff goes on every day. Like, most citizens just don't realize like how lucky we are. You win the lottery by being born in this country. Because when you're over there, it's like it doesn't seem real. It just makes you really grateful for all the stuff we have here. I hope people, when they see this, get a grasp of maybe how much of a sacrifice it really is. It's tough on everybody. In many ways, even more tough on the spouses, whether it's the wife or husband that's behind, and the children. All the attention gets put on us, but I think it's 30 or 40 times harder for them. It used to be two, now there's one person doing everything, managing schedules, managing work, having to be strong for themselves and the kids as well, and not knowing what's going on with your spouse. I couldn't imagine being on the other side of it. My wife was amazing through both deployments, and I felt really bad for her because her dad had just passed away of cancer. And then I had to share with her that I was going to be leaving right after. I don't know how she did it. It just takes a toll on the whole family. But that aside, the experience is great, and you learn a lot about yourself and the world, people, and I wouldn't trade any of those experiences for anything.
It's an important part of the War Memorial mission to collaborate with veteran organizations and auxiliary organizations. And we have some incredible partners in this program that we run out of this center that work with this resilience effort.
A lot of veterans have the mission of doing what's right for the country, fighting for our freedom. And then when they come back, that sense of a mission can be lost. I've seen that a lot of our work can be reintegrating them into civilian life as much as we can. What the VA is wanting to do is bring these different agencies together that really are already taking care of veterans, but let's all do it together. And the War Memorial was willing to basically host our task force meetings and provide a station for us to kind of have our community outreach. And so we are able to have a combined event with the War Memorial, the VA, and other agencies to provide outreach for veterans. Veterans, if they're struggling with trauma, it's important that they go and get some help for it. So Helping the Living is trying to get the message out to all those veterans living out there. Mental health doesn't need to put you on the sidelines. You can recover from those problems.
It's key to be part of the solution to the problem. Our collaboration in partnership with groups like the VA Mental Health Team, the Medical College of Wisconsin, that's what this is about. We just want to be that beacon, that center of hope. It's a gathering point to really create and help find solutions to some of these very difficult problems.
My first interaction with the PVA was when I was first injured, and a national service officer came to my bedside. His job was to let me know who they were, what they did, what they could do for me, anything that I might have earned benefit-wise, just to let me know that when I was ready, they were there. Our mission is to keep them active, keep them involved, educate them. Lots of times when we go in there, they have no idea the benefits that they've earned, and that's our job to let them know there's life after injury. And we ask our members, what are they interested in? And we try to accommodate that through programs, everything from educational to sporting events. We sponsor a team that goes to veterans games every year, and we have a boot camp to get them trained, ready to go do that.
But we also do a lot of fun, engaging activities throughout the year where you can volunteer. We have a 5K. We do Field of Flags, where we place flags in Veterans Park, 27,300, the full count of Wisconsinites killed in action since the Civil War. It's just a way to bring together a community both of caring citizens who are patriotic and also to give back.
They fought for our freedom. They left their homes as young men and women. Some of them have come home with PTSD, missing limbs, and I got to sit home. And I didn't have to go to war or have to leave my home. They're volunteering to protect our nation. And I don't want people to forget them. In 1920 is when we accepted it as a symbol of the American Legion Auxiliary. It's a remembrance flower to remember sacrifices veterans have made for our country. I'm proud to say we're one of the few states in the nation that have veterans actually make the poppy for us. Last year, they made over $350,000 with 8 poppy makers. And then all the money that is raised goes back into veterans and their families. In the War Memorial, when you walk in here, the walls speak for themselves. A veteran can come in here and have hope, heal. They can just have quiet time. They can talk with other veterans.
For everybody who loves their freedom, their ability to hop in a car, drive to the Northwoods, put a boat in the water and go fishing. We have that because of the men and women who sacrificed. Not everybody has served, but everybody in our society enjoys the freedom because of those men and women who did what they did. This is a place to reflect on that and to learn about those sacrifices. But be willing to learn. Be willing to listen to what they went through so you can understand you have the freedom that you have today because of that young man, that young woman who sacrificed so much.